Welcome to Tuesday night shiur. Yes, the truth is I can't play well. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't play. But I tell you what I could do. I can exercise. Something you can't.
So you're frail.
Yeah. Okay, the Georgian in the back saying now. Okay, let's go. Welcome to another Tuesday night shiur. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for yourselves. Before we get to Inyaneinu, to whatever we wanted to talk about, I wanted to first say 2 weeks away from Pesach.
Yeah.
Practically 2 weeks, right? Less. What is it? If you look at it, it's really 12 days. That's it. Before you know it, Pesach's over. Before you know it, you're 80 years old. Before you know it, you're giving Din Cheshbon to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you know? It just gives me it reminds me of a story I heard. Very powerful story. It's a mashal. I don't know if I should say it now or wait another 10 minutes before the herd comes in. But I'll say it now. Kodem Zocheh. Whoever comes early always is Zocheh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nehiyah b'dvaro. Amen. Okay, here's the mashal. Someone sent it to me. When I saw this, I really loved it. A woman's pregnant, and she's pregnant with twins. And the twins have a discussion. One says to his brother, "What's after this? What happens after this? We're in the. So the other one says, so Amy says, what do you mean? What happens? After this, we're dead, we're done, we're finished. Life's over. He said, what do you mean life's over? How can life be over? Then what are we doing here? He said, we're here because that's where we were placed. He's like, what about mom? He's like, Mom? Did you ever see Mom? How do you know there is even a mom? Did she ever come here? Did she ever say hi? What's this mom situation you're saying? So the other brother tells the other twin says, maybe when we're gonna get out, we're gonna walk. We're gonna be able to eat. We're gonna be able to, move. He said, walk, eat, talk. Where's these fantasies coming from? Did you ever see anyone walk, talk, and eat? What are you talking about? And the other brother says, how do you know all this? He said, because someone once told me. He said, do you ever remember anyone that was here and never came back? No, right?
It's not possible.
It's not possible. This is the mashal and imshal we have to tell ourselves every day. We always have these fear comments. No, we don't know until we get there. Child in his mother's stomach doesn't know what happens when he gets out. But when he's in his mother's stomach, when we were in our own mother's stomach, we also thought about things. We also lived a certain kind of life. Poof, that episode finished, time to evolve, we come out to the world. Do you remember what happened? But is everything that happened into your life depending on that, what happened? Yes. And when people ask, what's after this life? Where is God? Emunah questions. All these things you have to ask yourself. Because you didn't see it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because there was a time in your life that you also didn't see the world, but yet you're here today. And the funny thing is, you don't even remember anything that happened over there. We have to understand Emunah. We're going into the holiday of Emunah. Pesach is the holiday of Emunah. That's why the whole avodah of Chodesh Nisan is a physical and a spiritual cleaning. It's a cleaning of the house. It's a cleaning of the neshama. It's a cleaning of everything. We're all going crazy. We're koshering pots. We're koshering our clothes. Even our food. Our animal food. food. Sorry, if you have animals, even they have to keep Pesach. You can't give them chametz. Can you imagine? Your clothes, you got to clean every little crack and crevice. For what? When it's Rosh Hashanah, do we do like this craziness? No. We have an inner spiritual cleaning. But on Pesach, we have a physical and spiritual cleaning. Why is that so important? I'll tell you why. Because Pesach is the holiday of the Geula, of redemption. Pesach is the beginning.
Sorry to cut you off. What's Rosh Hashanah exactly?
Rosh Hashanah is the birthday of Adam Rishon, the beginning of humanity. Chodesh Nisan is the beginning of Judaism. Now, what was I saying? Pesach is uplifting physicality into spirituality. Tishrei is igniting spirituality. It's two different things. People say, what's going to be when the Geulah is going to come? It's going to be like Pesach. We're going to elevate. We're having that physical elevation. Our whole physical structure of the world is going to change. Not that the trees are going to grow instantaneously. No, I don't live in Skaska land. I believe in reality. What's going to happen is you're going to see godliness. You're going to see, you're going to feel everything miyad Hashem. That's what you're going to feel. You're not going to feel anymore that hustle and bustle of why, if, where, when. To the point that the Gemara says you're going to cry. You're going to miss this feeling. You're going to miss this hustle. Like take a guy, let's say a guy is a real hustler, and you take him off from the block and you put him on a 9 to 4 on a cubicle, the anthropomorphs. What is he going to do? He's going to kill himself. Because for him, it's really not so much about the money. It's about that talking, the going, the hustling, the same thing. This world is going to elevate to that point. Can you imagine? What I'm telling you? Your doubt of having a haircut, not having a haircut, your doubt of waking up early, not waking up early, are not going to even be questions. You know what the question is going to be? Am I doing enough or am I not doing enough? Am I going to get there or I'm not going to get there? That's why this generation has the most challenges with mental health. The most. More than any generation in time. Back in the day, something didn't go your way, you get smacked on your forehead. Now it's going to be good, Habibi. Continue living. And you live like that. Good, not good. You like it, you don't like it. Now this generation became rectification of the psychological brain. Mental health, mental thing. And it's why did it come to that stage? Because in order to be physically and mentally devoted to the truth, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the creator of the universe, you have to mentally be healthy. If you're not mentally healthy, you're never going to make it there. I'll give you an example. Anxiety. Let's someone has a anxiety. Most, at least in your age, a lot of you guys have this anxiety. Should I get married or I shouldn't get married? Am I ready for it? Am I not ready for it? Then you ask people that are in your age that have a lot of money, and you ask them, why are you not getting married? I'm not sure if I'm ready for it. The guy that doesn't have money thinks he's not ready because of
no
money. The guy that has money thinks he's not ready
because he has too much money.
Because he has too much money. So where's the breaking point? It's so idiotic. It's such a satan. This anxiety is so stupid. It's amazingly dumb. You know what it's waiting for? For you just to grow up and to say, I'm going to tackle it. Regardless of what challenge comes my way, that fear, that mental breakage that you have, which you don't know how to overcome, is going to come any way you have it. The question is, when are you going to take action? Are you going to take action earlier than later? Or are you going to take action later and say, that was so dumb, I just wasted so many years doing nothing? The fear I had can only be overcome through action. All fear can only become overcome through action, not through imagination. Imagination doesn't work. I imagine I'm going to win the lottery. Congratulations. So live your life like a billionaire in your imagination. What are you, first grade? You have to do action. When you do action, you can get to that level. But if you don't do action, you're never going to get there. So what is this emunah that we're working on? What's the significance on Pesach? When we eat the matzah, the bread of faith, of belief. What bread? What faith? They were running out of their house. They couldn't cook on time. That's the faith? Is that what it is? Because they couldn't cook it on time? That's what it was? If you look at the poskim, the matzah they left with us, it was probably even matzah ashera. It's only later in Parashat Re'eh it says the lechavoni, poor man's bread. What is this? This is faith? Because it's poor man's bread? Yeah, it makes you poor. Go buy 1 pound of matzah, $60 these days. That's why it makes you poor. That's why it's considered poor man's bread. Someone one time told me, he said, what is this, Rabbi? I have a whole family. I'm going to buy matzah. You go to the ones that are $30, they're all burnt, you know? There's nothing, you can't even eat it. You go buy the regular one, $60 a pound. I have 15 kids. What's going to be? We shouldn't eat matzah. I said, no. The mitzvah is to eat it for the first 2 days. And that's it. You don't have to eat it anymore. He thought it was crazy. But yeah. The Maisa, that's what it is. So where's the emunah here? What's this emunah?
We left Egypt. And we left our surroundings. When you travel, it's like...
You remember leaving Egypt?
No.
So what are you building me bubble ices?
It's our
It's like, you know what you sound like? Like those old timers that sit on Shabbat and they reminisce on how big their house was in Uzbekistan. And the meat that we ate, and the kaifafat we had, and the drinking at 5 in the morning, and I screwed this Uzbek, and I did this to this Tajik, and I did this to that woman, and he's telling me his whole life story, and I'm like, you're in America, Habibi. What do I care about what happened to you in a third world country? You know, I don't care. Can I even relate to them? I can't relate to them. Yeah, I went to Uzbekistan last year, I couldn't relate to these people. I said, this is what you're happy because you had a Zhuguli, a car that barely even drives normally? You gotta always move it by the time you turn it. Is that what you're going crazy? I said, come, I'll show you BMW. I'll show you what's a real car, you know? Like you're reminiscing about what? What are you right now doing Hikah Havud for? For living in a third world country? And being rich, quote unquote, over there? So what's my relationship towards Pesach? What is it? What am I remembering? What's my connection? So my great grandfather 3,335 years ago left. He was a slave. What is it to me?
We were taken by God's hand, with God's hand.
You were taken or your great grandfather?
That's us. It's our descendants. It's with the same blood. What do you mean? It's the same
So
genetics.
What? So what? Who cares? That's our grandparents. Who cares?
Yeah, but if everyone thought that way, then there wouldn't be...
It's the energy. It's the we're
You don't have an answer? What word do you say? Energy. I love it. Don't use those words yet. You have to first understand what energy is. But wait. No? What is it? What's the answer?
Hashem says so.
I love that.
It's
Such a Jewish, it's a Georgian Jewish answer. Hashem said so. Bas. Alas. Enough.
That's all we need.
No, okay, so today we're going to tap into that. When Hashem created the world, He created the world in many different stages. One of the stages, or I would say, one of the ways that He created the world, or the process, one of the ways through the process that He created, He didn't create the world in different ways. One way. But in the process, He created what's called a chalal, an empty tube. A tube. What shape is a tube if you look on top?
Cylinder.
It's a cylinder. It's practically a circle. It's straight, but it's a circle. It's very interesting shape.
It's a column, yeah.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it that on certain days and times, there's a certain, it's called a rishimu. What's a rishimu? An imprint. I'll give you a small story before I continue. One time, Rav Noam Elimelech was traveling in Europe, and he was looking for a sukkah. Sorry, he wasn't looking for a sukkah. he was looking for a Jewish house to sleep. So he was traveling. He found a house that had his name. He said, I need a place lanun to sleep. Back in the day, this was very common. People knocking on your doors. They looked like a Yehudi. You let them in. No questions about it. He let him in. He stayed the night. He woke up in the morning, and he went out to the backyard. And suddenly he started to feel very, very good. He didn't understand, where's this feeling coming from? And he goes to the owner of the house. He said, do you do something here in this backyard? What's going on? And the owner said that this year there was a very big tzaddik that asked me to build a sukkah in the back of my house for him, and I built it for him. And Rav Noam Elimelech said that tzaddik that you build a house for left such an imprint of holiness in that place that until now I feel it. I feel that holiness. I feel a sense of joy of the Sukkot time. It's the middle of the year. It's the middle of the winter. How a person, when he does stuff, he can leave an imprint there forever. I think Rav Nachman says that if a person sinned in a certain place, he should go to that place and do tshuva there. I have to just find the source. If I'm not mistaken, reading once. Now I'm not telling you to go to Habibi. Some places you can't do tshuva anymore over there, right?
Okay.
Right. All right. Just let's be realistic, right? You're not gonna go to certain. If you go there, you're gonna have to do double tshuva then, right? Right. So there is that sense of when you reach certain concentrations and meditations and loving towards Hashem to such a level that you can do such a thing. But let's say you can't, right? We remember our sins, what we did when we were younger, right? Certain places you can't go. You tell me to go into those buildings, Rabbi, you lost your mind. You tell me to go into there, right? You can't do that. So what do? You do Teshuvah Klali. But of course, I'm not talking about in a place of Zima and like that. Big falut. I'm talking about, in a regular place, somewhere that you did, maybe you, I don't know.
Stole something.
She stole something. Good. You go there, you do Teshuvah. I'm sorry for stealing. I'm sorry, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because you left that imprint, you left a negative imprint on this world. This whole world is one big recording system. This whole world is just recording. Everything is recording. We didn't believe it until we realized, we learned through science that there's electromagnetic waves and sound travels, light travels, everything stays in the universe. For what? Because we leave an imprint. When we do good, the world changes around us. So when HaKadosh Baruch Hu did all these certain holidays that we follow today, why do we follow these holidays? Every single one we do is because those holidays are actually in effect at the moment that it starts. It's not a remembrance. Rabotai, I want you to understand something. We're not over here finding eggs. This is not Easter for anyone over here. We're not doing it because there was a rabbit and a snake and they made bunnies we don't believe in this nonsense. We don't believe in remembering holidays because it happened to us. We believe that the fact that it happened and it became part of the Jewish calendar, that moment, that day, that hour, you have the power to tap in to exactly the same energy, the same koach that happened to us in Mitzrayim. The exact same thing. So when the Jews left from Mitzrayim with such a faith and belief, which we'll talk about what that actually was, what it is, on Pesach itself, especially on the Seder, we have that ability to tap into that energy. To acquire emunah for the whole year based on our Seder. That's why it eats me so much when people say they go to these programs on Pesach, they go to restaurants, or they go to hotels. I'm sorry. It's allowed, you can do it. Halachically, it's no problem. Halachically, no problem. I think, at least, you don't really know what goes on, but halachically, it's not a problem, right? But if someone wants to grow spiritually, someone wants to grow mentally, if someone wants to work on himself, what's this nonsense? Come on. Stay home. Do it like an odam, like a human being. One by one. Figure it out. Learn it beforehand. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Enjoy your mother's or your wife's cooking. What, is that bad? Is that bad? You saying Dayenu until here, Rabotai, right? You get into Dayenu, you can add the fact that my wife made food on Pesach itself. Dayenu, it's good enough. It was worth to come out of me trying just for that, right? Now, come on, it's not that bad. You stay home with the kids. You stay home with your family. You enjoy, you embrace it. That's Pesach. What is this new generation and their laziness? They have no problem wearing the most expensive clothes and the most nicest jewelry and showing off their life, traveling with their whole family to another country or another state. For what? Because you're too lazy to do what you got. First of all, it's not a vacation. Anyone that says we're doing it as a family vacation, then they don't know what it means a vacation. To relocate for a holiday for 7 days to another facility is a relocation, not a vacation. With the kids, that's not, anyone goes to vacation with kids is not a vacation. I'm sorry. My personal opinion. You want to go on vacation? Go with the kids. You go with your wife. You spend your quality time. I feel bad the kids don't go. Don't feel bad for them. They'll have their day and age when they're going to be able to go on vacation. Suddenly everyone wants to rectify. Why? Why do parents want to always take their kids? Because we never went anywhere and I don't want them to feel like how I felt. What happened to you? Did you die? Did you die? So what are you complaining about? What are you complaining about? What's the waste of thousands of dollars? What do they need a vacation from? They're never going to appreciate it. Whoever went on vacation with your family, think you guys even appreciate it? You don't appreciate it. Vacation. Husband and wife. Yeah, Habibi, halas. They go, they do what they gotta do. They rejuvenate themselves. They rekindle their marriage. They come back. They continue living their life. What's this nonsense? Sorry, it's a chutzpah. It's not a vacation and it's a waste of money. It's really mamish a waste of money. Back to Pesach.
Right.
Go ahead, ask your question.
You said Pesach is the holiday of Emunah. How is it Emunah if God really presented himself? Like, how is there capacity to be Emunah? Like, to have faith in something, it's like there has to be a lack of it, right? Like to have fully faith in something, you can't fully know that it's there, right? But if God revealed himself to us, why is it not like a holiday of bitachon? Now that God revealed himself, now we put our trust in him, right? So why is it emunah and not bitachon?
Okay, so emunah, you asked, first of all, I thought you were going into a different angle, but you went a different way. Well, let's hold, first we have to understand what's the difference between emunah and bitachon. A lot of us don't understand the difference between those two things. We'll discuss that very soon, hopefully. I thought you were going to ask as follows. Since faith wasn't really such a big issue over here, it shouldn't be considered the holiday of faith.
Exactly, yeah.
So there is yidiyah, there is knowing, and then there's emunah. Let's first dissect those two things. Do you know that there's a God, or do you believe there's a God?
I believe there's a God, but I feel like I've had enough conclusive as a, like...
If I put a monkey in front of a computer and tell you that the monkey built the computer, are you going to believe me?
No.
Are you know for sure, or you don't know for sure?
I know.
Okay. So do you believe there's a God, or you don't believe there's a God?
I believe there's a God.
Wrong answer.
Why?
Because if you don't know that there's a God, you can't start believing. And I explain to you why. Believing surpasses knowing. Because whatever you don't know, that's where belief is the fundamental of. You can't say, I believe, if you don't even know the fundamentals of it. To say, I believe there's a God that created the world, means that I don't really believe in anything. Because then, if not, then where's God in this whole picture? The initial point of God has to be that you know He created this world. Because if not, then He doesn't even come to this picture. That's number one. So first of all, we know God created this world. The famous example that our Rav Amnon Yitzhak always used to say to and non-religious Israelis that used to fight with him and say, there is a God, there isn't a God. And he used to say something very simple. He said, you see the clock, the sha'on, right? The roli, right? How do you think the roli came about? Two pieces of metal hit each other and created a watch? With all the complications that it made? So how the heck are you going to tell me two asteroids came and created this world? What are you? You're such a big dalben? Are you that dumb to believe two asteroids is gonna go? We're scared that asteroids gonna hit America hit the Earth in like 4 years from now. We're scared it's gonna be the end of the world. But maybe it's gonna create a new world. Maybe we're gonna be part of a new kind of world. We don't say that. We know if two huge molecules like that hit, it's gonna be destruction. It's not gonna create anything. What kind of nonsense is this? So first of all, do we know that God created the world or we don't know?
Yes.
Of course we know. What's the question? It's 100%. 100% Hashem created the world. Okay. Leaving Mitzrayim, the Jews to leave Mitzrayim in the millions they were. Did they know they were going to leave or did they believe they were going to leave?
They knew they were going to leave.
Give me more.
They knew they were going to leave because they were leaving, I guess.
I love Jews. Jews are amazing. I love Jewish people.
Because of how much Hashem revealed himself, they knew it was already.
Was it before the plagues or after?
Before Moshe came.
Before he came?
Did they know? Did they
were
believe?
promised.
No,
They were promised, no?
I think they always had faith. It said in the Quran, they always had faith it was going to happen.
Wasn't it a prophecy?
Yeah, they knew one thing. They knew a Redeemer has to come. We also know there's a Redeemer has to come. But how much of us really believe Mashiach is going to come? That's a big question, but let's not answer that,
We
right?
all believe, we just
Right?
don't know how it's going to be when he
Correct. So here's the breakdown. They knew they were going to get redeemed, but they didn't know how they were going to get redeemed. They didn't know how they were going to get redeemed, but they knew they were going to get redeemed.
Sure.
Right? Like until today, we don't know who's going to be Mashiach. Some say it's this one, that one, this one, this one. I say Mashiach is going to be everybody.
I redeemed, they mean like going back.
If he's not going to be a rabbi that's kolel everyone, not just a rabbi, someone that has a name and the pet to speak to everyone in the same level, he can't be Mashiach. Impossible. Mashiach has to be a person that can talk to the Litvische Welt their way, talk to the Hasidic Welt that way, talk to the Sephardi Welt this way. Every community he has to know how to catch them by speaking the same sentence. That's Mashiach. What kind of hat he wears, how big his beard is irrelevant. Everyone always cares about the outside. They don't look at what his actual. He's considered in the Neshama Klalit, a universal soul that's going to be able to tap into everyone. That was Moshe Rabbeinu. Let's continue. So where did the faith come into the picture? That Mitzrayim is considered that Yetziat Mitzrayim is considered the holiday of faith. The fact that they didn't know how it's ever going to happen, the idea was such a far-fetched idea to them. It was so far-fetched that it ended up being that their knowing had to develop a belief system on top. The fact that they had to build that belief system on top, everything surrounding around Pesach has to do with what? A belief that we're getting out of Mitzrayim. To the point they didn't even have 18 minutes to bake their matzot. That's how fast they left Mitzrayim. They left Mitzrayim instantaneously. Moshe Rabbeinu came. He said, we're not leaving at night, we're leaving in the day. He said, Chevre, time to go. Time to go. They lived there for around 210 years. You notice to pack up all your things? You have no idea. I'm planning on maybe moving somewhere. Yes, no, we're still in the talks, right? The time I have is not enough. Or the time I thought I had is not enough. I'm talking about 4 or 5 months. These people had, at every birth, they had 6 kids. Imagine leaving with 30 kids. Example. You know what it is to pack for 30 people? Plus a husband and the wife and the sheep and the cows and the goats. And the donkeys and the camels, and if they had horses, you know what I'm talking about?
And the gold.
And the gold. The Jews can't leave without gold. And the gold. Can't forget about the money. Last week we talked about how much they donated in the Mishkan. We did the math. We took Aryeh Kaplan's Chumash. I think it came out to like 43 or something to do with a fork, maybe 400 or 43,000 pounds of gold. You know what I'm talking to you about? You know what let's say 43. You know what 43,000 pounds of gold is? Can you fathom such a thing? That was just a donation they gave. And how much more they had? Korach had, I think, 18 donkeys holding his keys to all of his gold and silver. You know what I'm talking? Keys! Kluchi! Do you understand that? How many animals he needed to hold his keys? They had everything. And this holiday is called the holiday of faith. Because when you eat the matzah, at that moment, it's not a remembering. What does the Haggadah say? In the Rambam Paschal, this is la halacha. You have to feel like you're getting out of Mitzrayim now. You have to feel that all your worriness and troubleness that you had is going to be erased with siyata d'shmaya. But saying amen is not going to help. You know what's going to help? Doing the proper preparations. Cleaning the house. How could you not want to clean the house? What is this? I'm just going to sell my house to the goy. It's a b'diavad. You can't do that. Even halachically, it's a huge question.
What does b'diavad mean?
It's not suggestive. So if you have it's not ideal. What is this nonsense? Try to get rid of all the chametz. Of course, it's not your own house. You can't do it. I understand the difficulties. I told my wife, we're getting rid of everything. Not a one single macaroni, not a cereal, not a whiskey. Everything gotta go. Everything out of the house. No chametz. Lo yireh v'lo yimatzeh lecha. Two mitzvot deoraitot. You shouldn't have it, and you shouldn't be able to see it. You get rid of it. This is not called being fanatic. This is the way everyone used to do it until this generation. I want you guys to know this. Ask your grandparents. What are they going to tell you? We ate nuts, raisins, and matzah. That's all we ate over there. That's they always remember this. Like they feel so special. They say, "Oh, this Pesach is not a Pesach." Yeah, it's not a Pesach. Yeah, yet you're the one that's closing all the shkaf, all your closets with full of chametz. You want Pesach? Get rid of everything. Yeah, too much money I spent. You start going crazy. Stop pointing the world is doing wrong. You fix it. Come on. No one's telling you not to indulge in the holiday. Indulge. Get the kasher Pesach cake if you want. Get the whiskey that they have kasher Pesach. There was one brand, I think. Get the tequila. Get the arak. Get the vodka. No, enjoy. Drink the 4 kosot. Eat the matzah. But don't forget why we're doing all this. We're not doing this because it's family time and a time to gather. We're doing it because we have a mitzvah to talk about Sipur Yitziat Mitzrayim. We're doing it because by us talking about the story of leaving Egypt and eating the matzah and drinking the wine, which hopefully we'll talk about at a different time, we're actually combining emunah, bina, which means consciousness of understanding, of putting things together into our physicalness. This is not the holiday of dat, of knowing. Because the whole story of Pesach was what? It was faith. Only in Shavuot, when we get Matan Torah, we reach the level of knowing. But now, the avodah, the work, is faith. Building it up, slowly, by each matzah. The Baal HaTanya used to save some of his matzah. And Pesach. And when someone would be crucial sick, he would crush that matzah and he would feed it to them. Because this is the bread of refuah shalema. Matzah gives refuah. Matzah gives emunah. Don't try to get rid of it. You have to eat the afikoman with a ta'ava, with a desire.
The stomach hurts. We eat.
Your stomach hurts because you shove 50,000 other foods in your mouth.
Oh, once it makes your stomach hurt.
Okay, so don't eat so much, or get the right. No one told you now you have to just, I want imuna, get open the matzah and you start shoving it in your mouth. No, there's the kazay tod, there's the kabeit sod, which one to eat one kazait first one kazait second one, 2 kazites for the third one, there's a process here, but do it right. If you know by the time you're going to get to afikoman, your stomach is going to blow up, tell your family, don't cook so much. Or just don't eat so much. Oh, you don't like my food's not good. I like it, but I like the matzah more. It's the mitzvah to eat the matzah now. It's not the mitzvah now to indulge in like 15 different foods. I remember going to my wife's house for the first time for Pesach. Forget about it. 6 different fishes, 15 different salads, 6 dishes on top. By the time for me, and I made them eat matzah. I remember the first time I got there, let's say this is a whole big matzah, right? This is the big one. So I see some of the members are like, okay, yeah. They take a bite. Literally, this is motzi matzah. They take a bite this big, just literally. They ate it. Okay, Rabbi, what's next? I'm like, you joking with me? Oh, you gotta finish it. Finish! I said, yeah, and you sure you can't eat anything with it? They went crazy on me. They went bananas. Bananas they went on me. And then after they finished, they ate it. They're ready to dig into the food. Korech! After maror, korech, sandwich! Okay, they take a matzah, literally, this big. Literally, I'm not joking with you. They put what's it called? The romaine lettuce. They put the charoset. They're gonna eat it. I said, what are you doing? You gotta get big piece. Like this has to be one big sandwich. And so my wife's grandma said, oh, by the time we're gonna finish this, we're not really gonna want to eat. What is this? You wait so much food? I said, this is the mitzvah. Okay, you eat this, then you have the meal. Guys, you have another mitzvah after. You have to eat the afikoman. And the halakha says you have to eat it with an appetite. There's no way, even King Kong can survive a seder like that. There's no way. Impossible. So you have to do everything with chokhmah, with smartness. Understand what is the purpose and why are we doing things. We're not sitting on the seder just to eat and then to talk lashon hara. That's not our life. We eat, we do it, and we talk about Mitzrayim. We got out of Egypt, and we explain it, and we delve into the story. What does it mean? The whole thing was such an emunah pshuta. You have to understand, the Jews had such simple faith. They just believed they were going to get out. They didn't even care how. They just wanted to get out. We have to reach that level, and that's through eating the matzah. Because the whole thing is based on the fact that they left and the matzah was the main character here. By doing that and meditating when you eat the matzah, you're actually drawing upon yourself that feeling of emunah, which lasts you the whole year. These are not heebie-jeebie things. These are facts and reality. It's a fact. That's how we have to lean when we eat. If you don't lean, you have to do it again.
Eat or drink the wine?
Both.
Also when you eat?
You gotta lean. What's that leaning for? You know what the leaning for is? Yeah, according to halacha, to be king, but it's also to look at it in another way. It's also to break yourself, not to have ego. People that have ego are always like this. Pick up your bag, say hi to everyone. You know that. You know how it goes, right? Yes, you have to do that. Manners, they're cheret. But when you eat the matzah, you would assume you have to. We live in different generations. No, lean. Break yourself. Be humble. You know what? This faith doesn't come from people that are haughty. People that are haughty do not get faith. Because they won't know what to do with it.
What's haughty?
Haughty means ego. Someone that has too much ego won't know what to do with faith. Why? Because everything he thinks is in his control. Lean, break yourself. I'm a nothing. I'm a nobody. I'm just a servant of God. I'm a pawn in His game. I'm doing His will. I'm serving you because He's the master of the universe and I only want to do good. And when you break yourself and you eat the matzah and you think about it, and you think about all the good that He did to you, and the fact that He took us out of Mitzrayim was the greatest love He ever showed us. His love was so unison to His people that He Himself took us out. V'lo yidei malach, as the Gadaev says. He didn't send an angel or a messenger. He Himself with His koach came down and took us out of Mitzrayim. That's what it is. It's a big difference when a guy delivers the flowers to the girls or when he sends a messenger to deliver to the girl. It's a different feeling. It feels good anyway, but it feels better when she sees the guy hand it over to her. It's just the way it is. Why? Because you get that personal connection. I understand it. It's like when a person says, I don't know what to get my friend for her birthday. I'll give him a gift card. Or give him money. Yeah, maybe the guy would want the money and the thing, but 5 years from now, if you give him a gift, or she, whatever the case is, they'll remember that gift. They'll see it, they'll say, yeah, he gave it to me. Oh, so nice of him. Or so nice of her. Now I'm not telling you to give gifts and stuff like that. That's not the point. The point is the concept behind it. How a person has to understand that the matzah that we do is not because we did it once and we're doing it as a memory. Chas v'chalila. We're doing it now. We're leaving Mitzrayim right now. And that all depends on what? How you prepare mentally for that moment. That's the beauty about the Jewish holidays. It doesn't ask you, are you ready? It says, ready or not, here I come. So right now you already have to mentally prepare yourself. Right now you have to start doing things that build up your emunah. Through that you'll see the light in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not through anything else. Not to going to shul because you just want to chill and do nothing. You have to be in your prime moment. That's what matzah is. That's why matzah is also mem tzadik hey. Matzah also means to find God. To seek HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You want faith, you have to seek Him. Because He's there. He created this world in an illusion of macro control. But we cannot forget He's really micro controlling everything. The second we think He's not in our life in a micro way, we're kofir beikar. We don't believe. Even though the chinuch says it was micro. Macro. In our days, according to the Baal Shem Tov, we have to believe and know that God is controlling and is in our life every single step, every breath, every thought, every blink, every hair that stands up. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there doing it. How can a person be depressed if he knows this?
Can be.
How? You know why he gets depressed or he has an anxiety? Because he doesn't believe it comes from Hashem. Hashem is giving you an opportunity. Take it. I don't know. Why don't you know? He's giving it to you. Grab it. I'm scared. Who told you to be scared? Who told you to be scared? You know who's telling you to be scared? The Satan. He doesn't want you to be matzliach.
When you talk, in a specific case, when you talk about anything? Anything. Of course, you need to have a Rebbe. You have to ask advice. What should I do? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Give me an uplifting. Give me an idea. Give me knowledge. How should I do? What should I do? I had a student, right? You know him. You know him, but you don't know. Okay, well, he's not here. He has a cash advance office. He has an office. He's one of the partners there. And one of his partners spoke to me and he said, he's a very vital part of the company, but he's never present. He's doing so many other things. He needs to be in the office. The guys need to see him. a presence of a boss in his facility makes a huge difference on the workers. So I called this student, sat him in my office. I said, what are you doing with your life? I said, you left high school. You went to college. Every day you were in college, you wish you had an opportunity to make money, to be established. God gave this to you now. He gave you what you asked for. How come you're abusing the situation? How come you're not mashkiya, investing your time in it? He said, Rabbi, I'm bored. He said, I don't need to work. I said, what do you mean? He said, I have people working under me. There's nothing for me to do there just to collect. I said, do you think you're collecting enough or you're not collecting enough? I ran down with him numbers. I said, you're not collecting enough. He said, what do you mean? I said, you have an ambition to do A, B, C, D. How is this A, B, C, D going to be accomplished if you're just going to sit and not push? I said, the second you get out of my office, you're going back to work. Minimum 4 hours a day, you got to be at work. Minimum. You have other things to do it after. You got to be present. You got to be active. You got to do it. He did it. He's doing it. That's the way you have to work and serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you're not present, what do you think? You're going to start believing in God? What? You're going to start believing in Him if you don't think about Him all the time? You're going to see Him. How are you going to see Him? If you're not mashkiya your time when you daven 3 times a day. You daven shacharit with the tefillin, with the minyan. How are you going to see it if you're not working to see it? If you're not doing your due diligence, how are you going to see it? You're never going to see it. Ever in your life. So you have to ask yourself, I'm not seeing it because I'm not investing enough time. The problem is not him, Aratai. He's everywhere. It's impossible for him to be the problem. The problem is us. We need to work harder. We need to say we want to be attached to you. And I'll do anything and everything to get to that level. Because when you are there, wow, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. You know that feeling of not needing to worry? Not needing to worry is the ultimate pleasure. Why? Because you know you have a creator that decided for you. I just have to do his will. I just have to do his will. Can't have anxiety.
I'm still afraid of the wrong thing happening, even if it's his will. That's the thing, Rabbi.
What's wrong?
To us, it's wrong. Like,
But you don't exist. If you don't exist, then you have nothing wrong.
well, I feel like I do.
Then you have ego. What are you?
Shower.
What?
But a shower.
What is in the shower?
Spiritual.
Well, what is it? Where's the source?
Chef's peace of God.
It's what?
Peace of God.
So if it's peace of God, trust Him. Trust God. You just told me you're a neshama. Your neshama is the source is God. So trust God. You think God wants bad for Himself? So why do you think He wants bad for you? You have a hiccup down the line? It's good for you. It's not bad. Who said it's bad? Oh, your body says it's bad. Your body is not you, but you said your neshama is you. So there's nothing bad that can happen to you. Oh, you have challenges? Of course. How is your neshama going to grow without those challenges? You need them. They're required to happen. A person that's stagnant is a person that's dead.
You see, we look at life totally in a negative way. We don't look at it in a positive way. Challenges, difficulties, hiccups on the way, they're all good. Every single one of them is a blessing from God. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to overcome it, or are you going to whine about it? If you're going to whine about it, then you're a sucker. Why you're a sucker? Because until you don't overcome it, hey, you'll never get to the next step. So you'll forever be faced with it until you overcome it. It's like a guy that dreams to have a business, and he doesn't do it in his 20s, he doesn't do it in his 30s, he doesn't do it in his 40s, and he doesn't do it in his 50s. And then he says to his kids, you know, I always had a dream to have a business. You don't have the guts to do it for 40 years. Why are you now forcing your kids to do your dream? What kind of nonsense is that? I'm so shocked at some people, how they live or they grow up. You have to understand, you in life, when you have that challenge, you have to ask yourself, why is this challenge happening to me, not to you? It's happening to me because I need to go through it in order to make my kli, my vessel, bigger. Oh, is it difficult? Congratulations. Welcome to the world. It was difficult to also come out of your mother, but you came out of her. Imagine you would have stayed in her. Imagine. Imagine you're still scared. Imagine every baby was scared to come out of their mother. What would have happened? What? You know, that's maybe not. You don't remember what happened there. Maybe you were fighting.
You see the.
What do you mean you see?
This is the world, the way the world is. Everyone comes out.
C-section.
I mean, it's natural. Hashem made it natural.
No, it's not natural.
Yeah, it is.
C-section.
You're right. The way Hashem made it.
Yeah.
Correct. But Elamai, maybe you didn't want to come out. Maybe you didn't.
How would you know?
We all wouldn't, kid.
We wouldn't come out. Why would we come out? Life was chilling in there.
I want to
Nice.
stay.
Cozy.
Banya.
Swimming. All day. Kaifui. You don't need to worry. You don't need nothing. Achi tov. Achi tov. The Jews didn't want to leave the desert. It was good. It's chilling. Why would you want to come out? Come out? You gotta eat now. You gotta talk. You gotta walk. You gotta deal with two overgrown parents that you just don't want to see their face anymore, right? You got this. Who needs that? Stay good. It's good in the mother's stomach. There will be no growth then. You would still be the same little baby for the rest of your life. Who needs that? What kind of life is that? If you think life is about comfortability,
Good luck.
you don't know what life is.
Right? What if a person does everything to be comfortable? Like he gets uncomfortable so much. Like
The people that are comfortable in life, that get to the point of comfortability,
they're done.
they get very depressed. Ask any businessman that strives. Ask them if
He's
they're
stressed out always. He has anxiety, stress.
ask them if they're ever comfortable.
Yeah, but they're always stressed out.
But they have an ambition. You're right, they're stressed out. I agree. Maybe they have to change their psychological view. But you're right. Mentally, they're very stressed out. But why are they doing it then?
Because they want something.
No, they have everything. Why do they continue doing
Because
it?
that stress
They
gets you
didn't
to the
feel
next
winning.
level.
No, they didn't feel that concept of winning, really. Yes.
He won everything. He has everything. Elon Musk has everything. He became so stupid. He wants to go to Mars now. He has everything. He has everything. The guy has whatever you can imagine. You will have kids for the next 1,000 years. They will still not have a fraction of the money that he has. God forbid. But let's say, right? Statistically, right? What more in your life? What more in his life can he want?
More.
Because
That's
when
what
you
I'm
reach,
saying,
when you
exactly.
reach a certain point in your life, comfortability is for blue-collar workers. Blue-collar workers seek comfortability in their life.
The weekend.
They are considered the weak link of the chain.
What's
They're
the
very
blue
much needed
What's the
because
blue
without blue-collar are the people that work in the
Coal miners.
Yeah, like 9 to
Steel
5
miners.
workers. You know, like those kind of people, right?
Yeah.
Not businessmen, not hustlers, right? They're needed. They build the infrastructure of the country, but they're not visionaries. They'll stay the same forever. That's not growth. That's growth in a different angle. But why? Why to seek uncomfortability? Because life is not about being comfortable. It's not.
You know when you're gonna be the most comfortable? When you're under the grave. No one's bothering you. You're in your 4x4. No wife calling you. No mother getting on your nerves. No father worrying about you. No more worrying about the kids. No mortgage payment. No bills. Nothing. You're free. ולהמתים חופשי. And for the dead people, there's freedom. Yes, it's talking about something else. But let's put it together. You're free. You're good. You're Gucci.
Technically, I'm not because I'm in Shama.
Your goof is good.
Okay, but that's not me.
Your neshama wants what?
Hashem.
Shama.
So are you striving 24/7 for it? Be careful. You put yourself in this. Yes or no? Or are you striving for the bling bling?
Both.
Lies.
What if it's hand in hand? Rabbi, why?
You say, why did I lie?
Lies.
Okay.
You can't strive for both. Which one do you strive more for?
Probably one, I'll be honest.
You know what? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I wish all my Talmidim should be multi-billionaires.
Oh my God.
I really want that. But, a huge but. But, the second they do it to show off,
That's a problem.
they don't deserve any of the money. You don't make money in order to show off that you make. Who made you make that money?
Sure, 100%.
Ask people in certain industries. They thought $6,000 was good a month. Suddenly, 40,000, 50,000 a month. Wow! What is this? Lottery I won! Suddenly, after a couple of months, 50,000 is not good enough anymore. 60, 70, and they're working up. That's not good enough. Habibi, you make
What people don't make.
70% of the population's salary in a month. You make what they make in a year, you make in a month. What are you complaining about? What are you complaining about? Take it, grow, build your infrastructure bigger, make yourself more successful. For who but? To help everybody. Make more yeshivot. Help more people that need money. Give out to people that need. You know how many people are in need? I'm collecting money for a couple of families that don't have means for Pesach. Means they don't have. The kids don't have any clothes to buy. Votai, people are really suffering. If you have the means to be successful, it's your obligation to be successful. It's your obligation to get there, but never to forget. It's not you. It's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving it to you.
But when you give
The
it,
second you think it's you lost it. You lost the whole point.
Rabbi, I have a question. Those, you're talking about those people who are really like making it, like they're making 60, 70, 80, however much a month. I feel like those who are complaining about discomfort are those who haven't made it to 60, 70. They're more
The opposite.
like 10, 20, 30.
The opposite! The less you have, the less you know what comfortableism is. The more you have, the more you think you're uncomfortable.
True. I'm not
So then what are you saying?
I'm saying a person who's getting to 50, 60, 70K a month on the way there, they could also complain about being uncomfortable.
They do. They complain about it more than a person that makes $25,000 a year.
Right.
So then what's your question?
They're gonna keep going till they get higher and higher and higher, and they're complaining, but how much till it's too much?
No, it's never too much. But here's my answer.
Wait, but there's
One
always
second.
something
I'll
where
explain
there's
to
too
you.
much
I'll
to
explain
it.
to you. I'll explain to you. When a person changes his lifestyle and his personality based on his income, that's a problem. When a person doesn't change his lifestyle and his personality, and he has a lot of money, that's a person that mamash has yirat shamayim. Your goal in your life is, in your obligation, is to know that everything you have is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave it to you and knows you're the right vessel for it.
Rabbi, you also want to have fun.
Rabbi.
What is fun?
Rabbi.
Oh, I want to ask you a question. Stop. No, this is
I want
very
the physical
crucial.
body to
What's
enjoy. I want the physical body to enjoy too.
You want the physical body to enjoy?
Yeah.
Explain to me, what is enjoyment?
Yeah, Rabbi. Every time you say something, you always just say it's not. That's the thing.
A nice car. Rabbi.
Yeah,
Divine,
nice car.
divine,
You know, Rabbi
divine.
coming out with that
That's
nice.
Why are you getting it for?
Huh? That
If
feeling,
I would tell you
that feeling, that ride.
If I would
it's
tell
tough.
you the Gemara says that 99% of people die because of Ain Hara. 99% of people in this world die because of bad glaza. You still gonna want to pull out in that Bentley?
He's about to see you.
How many of you know your kids can get very much affected because of people's eyes?
You want to show your kids to the world?
Huh? I'm not saying to get a Toyota. I'm not saying you shouldn't get the BMW or the Bentley. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, what is your intentions? Is your intentions because you have to pick up a certain status because you reach a certain place in life, or is it because you want everyone's eyes to poke out? What's the reason? What's the real reason? The real reason is, I tell you what. You want everyone's eyes to poke out to show Yoshua Candino that came from such a place made it good in life. And all you suckers that didn't believe in me, take that. That's how you want to do it. But you know what's the best revenge in the world? Being who you are without anything changing you. That's the best. That's the ultimate human being.
If you get that lifestyle, you're still you?
Yes.
That's what you mean?
Correct. But the second you decide that you need other things.
How do you do that?
1 second. The second you decide that you need other things, not to make you happy, no, but to prove yourself, to enjoy. If you can't enjoy from who you are as a person, you have no self-esteem. You're a broken vessel. You're emotionally broken. What, you need validation from public? So then why are you doing it?
Told you, it's like the feeling.
No, you like the validation of people. That's the feeling. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're on an island all by yourself, and there's one gas station. One gas station. But you don't know how much gas it has. You have a Toyota hybrid, or you have a BMW. Which car are you going to drive in that island? You're all by yourself.
It's my last ride. 100% BMW.
You're not listening to me. That's not what I said.
Hybrid.
I said you have a hybrid Toyota, and you have a BMW.
Limited amount of gas.
You have a limited amount of gas in the what's it called?
Island.
Toyota.
So you're not about to be
In the shop, whatever. You
Gas
don't know how
station.
much is left. It could be good for 10 years. It could be good for 2 days. Are you gonna take the chance and drive the BMW?
No, because again.
Why are you gonna feel good? You're gonna be good. You're gonna be chilling. It makes me feel good. Skaskas, you can say it to someone that understands nonsense and BS. To me, you're not gonna feed me. Beep! You understand? You're not gonna feed me nonsense. You're doing it because you want people's necks to crack and everyone's glaza to come out. That's why you're doing it. I'm human too. But what's a perfect human being that can be
Just
himself?
wants to be quiet all the time.
No, I'm not saying to be quiet. Being yourself and doing things not because of that. You want a BMW, get it. No one said not. But the reason should be for Avodat HaKodesh and not for anything else. Doesn't mean now you have to drive with a car with a menorah and on Hanukkah time. That's not what I mean by Avodat HaKodesh. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I don't believe in bowling out like a chad. People that ball out at the end, they get everyone at the end. Time comes, as the Gemara says. One family one day is down and one family one day is up. You never know in which generation it's going to turn around. Rabbi Meir told his wife, the Ani came, knocked on their door. I'm going to finish with this. He just walked home. He just got home. He was about to eat. His wife told the Ani, the poor person, go. Wanted to feed him something little and go. Rabbi Meir told his wife, bring him in. After he finished eating, you know what he told his wife? You never know, maybe one day our kids will be knocking on someone's door. Maybe at this person's grandkids one day. And Hashem is going to be Makir Tov for our own offspring that they should be able to have.
That's deep.
Rabotai, don't abuse the goodness Hashem gives you. If you have a power, if you have an ability, physically, mentally, verbally, financially, help. Help. Hustle to help. Not to help. To
Help means dots, means 100%, whatever, whoever. That's the way you grow. When you do that, Hashem says, you're a good kli. I'm going to give you more.
That's really how it works.
You attract the energy that you produce. If you produce the energy of, I want to be makir tov and do good and this and that, what happens? Hashem says, here, I'll give you. If you attract only badness, negativity, this, that's who you're going to get. Surround yourself with positive people. Very important. What's your question?
2 questions. The Torah believes in the law of attraction. Is that a thing in the Torah, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. 2. What do you believe about money? I heard this quote that money is just an amplifier. If someone's a piece of crap, he's going to be a 10 times more piece of crap if he has that money. It's an amplifier of who you are. Is that also in line?
Yes, that's only if we're talking about the animalistic part of us, but everyone has a godly part of us, which we have that ability to supersede that animalistic by working on oneself, working on one's mental and physical ideas to become a better human being. I was not always like this. I had my bad days, both between me and God and me and people. And slowly I changed myself. Slowly that goes to everyone. A person has to understand you have to work on yourself. Through working on yourself, through having a good chabur, a good friend group, through having a good rebbe, you can grow. Without that, you can't grow. To say you'll do it yourself never works. Never works. Every king has advisors. Every successful people also has advisors. You might just not know them, but they exist. They exist. And it could be a guy that looks just like me. That never went out to the world, quote unquote. Right? But Hashem gives siyata d'shmaya to everyone, to their own ways. To their own ways. As long as you're not judgmental and you're doing things because Hashem wants us to do it.
Yeah, so let's say there's like actually the law of attraction, right? And like you're on a roll, you're doing like what you're supposed to be doing, you're changing, you're growing. And why do like sometimes like it feels like nothing is going your way? It's like another one bad thing, and another bad thing, and it doesn't seem to work. Like what would you say?
You answered it earlier.
It goes back to what we said before. That is growth. That's what you're not understanding. That hardship is the growth. That's what you asked for.
No pain, no gain.
That's exactly what it is. Oh, you don't see it that way because it takes so much more work on your end. Maybe that's what you need. Did you ever think of that? We're used to thinking if life is easier, you're doing good. If life is harder, you're doing bad. Ask any successful person that didn't inherit his money. He will never tell you, I woke up one day and I became wealthy. He'll tell you how he never slept. He'll tell you how he never ate. He'll tell you how he never did anything. Why? Because for him, that was what needed to be done in order to get where he is. But to each their own, right? There's a reason why you're going in the medical field, and there's a reason why some people are going, I don't know, in the construction field. The world needs both, but if you're doing it, you gotta do it 100%. I don't believe in 50-50. 100-100, that's what I believe in. What was your question? No?
Well, you already answered it.
Okay? Done? Finished?
Rabbi, what if on the way to you like working on like improving and like getting more money or whatever, just like overall getting more uncomfortable, you start to change yourself?
To
like
the negative?
Yeah, to negative.
That means you don't start to change. That means it was always there. It was
amplify. He said it before amplify.
It was always there. It was always there. It just wasn't tackled. I really dislike. I had a student like that. I stopped talking to him. The second he got some money, he thought he was
The Don.
He thought he was the Don. That's what he thought he was. To the point that he got very, very disrespectful. Now, I don't tolerate this nonsense. I'm very modern, but I'm also very old school. I don't tolerate nonsense. Your money is not going to change my answer. And we don't talk now. He doesn't talk to any rabbi now. Because it's either what he wants or nothing. And it doesn't go this way. There's a Torah, we have to follow. There's a Misorah, and we have to follow it. That's the way it goes. Nowhere in the Torah says you have to live like a pauper. But if you have it, you have to know how to use it. And how it ties up to Pesach. Rich people left, poor people left, everyone left. Everyone left. They could have told Moshe, Allah, you got us out of Egypt, I'm going to Persia. One could have said, I'm going to Saudi Arabia. Different names that time in the countries, right? One could have said, I'm leaving, I'm not staying here. But regardless of how much they had, they all followed who? Moshe Rabbeinu. They all followed Moshe Rabbeinu. Wherever you go, I go. It's called Emunah Pshuta. It's something we don't have anymore in this generation.
But why did they, even though they had a choice? Or did they have a choice?
They did have a choice, but they didn't because they got to the point of realizing that it's not about materialism.
But they still did the sin of the golden calf.
They still did the sin of the golden calf. Correct? You want to know why?
Why?
For you to be here today.
I have to be here. That's crazy.
Where's that?
Sure you have to be here, I know. I've been telling you that.
What? That's not what he said.
Yeah, I have a millionaire.
Yeah.
I thought he said I have to be a millionaire.
No, I was gonna say to what you're saying. I was gonna show you the video. That's why I was.
You understand? Everything that happened for a purpose and a reason. The question, what if, is only for people that just have nothing to do with their lives. What if the first plague was a frog? Then it would be a frog. Why asking me? I don't know. What if? What if you had two dads? What if? You don't have two dads, right? So there's no what if. Why asking me this what if? Here, Rabotai. No final questions? I'm gonna finish with this. Don't be lazy. Start cleaning from Pesach early. Get your car needs to be cleaned, your storage units, your businesses, your houses. Everything must be cleaned. Everything. Your teeth. Make sure if you could go to the dentist to get a deep clean, get a deep clean. If you can't, make sure you brush your teeth and change your toothbrush. Ben Ish Chai says a story of a guy that was so makpid on his matzot. He used to do such crazy things to bake matzot, but he didn't brush his teeth. He had a dream the night after Leil Seder, and the dream is the person going to him and says, "You're chayav karet, you're chayav the death penalty. You ate chametz." And he realized he didn't
Brush his
brush his teeth, and he had leftover chametz in his teeth. Big Iraqi mouth. Like, yeah. Right? So don't look. What does this story teach us? It's not about the macro. It's about the micro things. Small things that you take care of, that's what makes you big. Not the big things that people see. Right? Sometimes you gotta worry about the little people. When you worry about the little people, one day they're gonna become big people. But if you're only worried about the big people, one day the big people are gonna die and they're gonna be left with nobody. That's why you gotta always look at the little people. No one likes to take care of the little people. Why? Because it means you gotta really work. People like to take care of the old people because they're already set, they're good to go. That's not Avodat HaKodesh. That's comfortability. We're not looking to be comfortable. We're looking to do God's work. If I wanted to be comfortable, trust me, I gotta stay home and chill. I don't need to be here. But this is Avodah. You have to do what you have to do in order to grow to Hashem. Last question, go. You had something to say? No? Anyone? Baruch Adonai Le'olam.
Amen. Amen.